first episode of Ask Wallimann, a show in which I will answer your questions, discover the truth, find your path.
Dude, what the hell are you doing?
Sorry. Hi, David Wallimann here. Welcome to the first episode of Ask Wallimann. I'm getting a lot of questions. I've been wanting to do a regular Q&A type of thing for a while, so this is the first one. This question is from my friend Tom Quill. How do you find balancing being a dad with running a business and being a guitar player? Hey Tom, that's such a great question, and the answer kind of changes as I go. I'm working part-time to spend more time with my family. And what I discovered is that working part-time forced me to really work on the tasks that needed to be done and on the tasks that generated the most income for the least amount of time. So that's the first step, figure out what those things are. And so let's say I have 6 hours in a day, and there is this task that I need to do. I know that this task will generate $500, for example. And I know that in order to get this task done, I need to put in 10 hours. Okay, so that equals to about $50 per hour. What I discovered is that if I can get all the grind work out, such as, let's say I am preparing a lesson for my Guitar Infusion class. So I film the lesson, and then I find that it takes me, let's say, 5 hours to film and edit, and then 5 hours to actually do the tabs and all that kind of stuff. Well, if I can eliminate one of these tasks, like the tabs, for example, by paying someone to do it, obviously that's going to reduce the global $500 income that I have, but my time is going to be reduced also. So now, if I can find someone that I can pay, let's make it simple. Let's say $200 to write the tabs. That cuts 5 hours of my time. So now I'm not making $500, but I'm making $300. However, the ratio, the hourly ratio that I'm making is now increased because now I'm making $300 in 5 hours of my time. So that's just an example, but I tried to apply this to basically anything I do. And I found that I was able to cut half of the time of my work more smartly, and my income has actually increased. I'm working less and I'm making more. I can highly recommend this book by Tim Ferriss that kind of triggered all this. I've read this years ago, before I even had the thought of a kid, but this has changed my life. This is the 4-Hour Work Week. I really recommend this book. It gives you some ideas, different way of thinking. Read it about 7 years ago, and that's kind of what triggered this whole online thing. Also, something that really, really helped me is this app. It's I've got it on my iPhone, but if you don't have an iPhone, I think it's also available on PC and all that. It's called Wunderlist. It's free, and basically what it does, you can categorize all your tasks in different categories. Like I've got a YouTube task, I've got a Guitar Infusion task, Guitar Playback task, folders basically. And within these folders, I add some tasks. Like today, for example, I had a YouTube Q&A vid. That was on my to-do list in the half day that I have. It's synced with my computer too. It really allows me to manage my time, and I can see clearly what I have to do and the things that I really don't want to do and that I know are not going to generate much money. I pay someone to do it. Next question is from Aditya Bakshi, and he asks how to push through your plateaus and get out of a rut. So the best way to do that is to take a break, because when you're actively involved in anything that you're actively involved in, whether it's playing guitar, coding a website, or even playing a game, whatever it is where you're really actively engaged with, it's easy to get in the mindset of trying to finish that task. So maybe on guitar, it might be trying to nail this technique or trying to improve your phrasing or whatever it is, and really get so focused on the task that you forget about the joy that you had when you originally came to it. It becomes very work orientated, which sometimes is okay, but But oftentimes it's not, because we get too much into the mindset of, I've got to achieve this. And the joy part is kind of outside. The creative mind is a little bit shut off. And that's where you become stuck, and you're in a rut because you don't have as much joy and passion. So my best tip is to take a couple days off completely of the instrument. I had this issue a few years back, and I asked my friend Chappers, what do you do? Like, I feel uninspired. And that was regarding videos, actually. His advice to me was to bake a cake. And the point was, and I didn't bake a cake, but I should have. The point was to do something completely different. And that's what I would encourage you to do. And you'll see that if you take a 2-day break, coming back to a technique or a song, you might find that it's way easier than if you would have spent all the time working on that. So that's what I would do. Take a break. Don't be scared of leaving the instrument. You're not wasting your time by doing that. On the contrary. Next question is from James Smallwood. Before you were able to quit your normal job and make guitar and music your source of income, how did you maintain focus and not get discouraged? First of all, I did get discouraged, and I did lose focus several times, and it still happens from time to time, but I have been completely independent for the last 7 or 8 years or so. And I think the reason is that the dream of being independent and making my own schedule and working on the things that I wanted to work with was so big that kept me going. And I also had some encouragements, of course, like family and friends and things like that. But it didn't start right away. I started by doing videos on the side and transitioning from a regular job. I was in a calling center for the Home Depot. Hated it, but I transitioned by not going completely independent, but still working for someone else, but in the line of work that I liked, which was music. So I found a gig teaching guitar in a local music school, just a few hours. So I was doing that with the Home Depot gig, doing that at the same time, and then got more students, and then did less and less hours, and then I did take the plunge. I did quit with the Home Depot. It was difficult at first, but I kept doing that. And then I started doing the YouTube thing, and then filming our lessons and putting a little website, which became today Guitar Playback. Just find your path, do it with passion, and if something robs the joy out of you, just stop that thing. I've had to do that several times in the past, and that's why the business model kind of changed. But overall, I decided that I wanted to be happy and do what I love to do. There's so much to be said on that topic that I think I'm thinking about doing a full-length course on just how to break free from the regular jobs or the jobs that you don't like and do what you want. Last question is from my friend Ryan Lawley, who asks, are you able to schedule creative time with a busy schedule? Kind of, but they changed. Before, I would spend a long time just kind of noodling on the guitar. Those were my creative times, but those are time suckers. They took out all the time that I had dedicated for work, and therefore that's why, going back to the first question that I answered, Tom, that's why I would work 10-hour days, or work 10-hour days, and the income was low. It wasn't focused. So now my creative times are outside of regular business hours, and they don't necessarily happen with a guitar. I've started to walk more, just take some fresh air, get out and run. And I started to have creative times in my mind, like composing in my mind more, which is kind of what we all do, I think, right? Just harmonize ideas, thinking about stuff. And the phone makes it so easy to just hit record and sing over it, and then you've got all these ideas, and you come back and you just figure out how to translate these ideas on your instrument, whatever the instrument is. So yeah, I still have creative times, but they're not necessarily scheduled. They're usually whenever I go out and enjoy nature. I'll see you next Tuesday. Hopefully there'll be more questions, and thanks so much for watching this. I will see you then. Practice well, and the album is coming soon. Thanks for watching this. I'll see you next time. Salut.